Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to you everyone. And I would like to welcome you all from Dhaka and Chittagong, the students and teachers, participate in an enhancement activity. And it's a joint program organized both LPC Dhaka and Chittagong with their students as well as the teachers. Active participation. Hope so it will be enjoying for all, and our students will learn more about the occasion, MLK Day, the Martin Luther King Day. So as well as you know that the 17th Jan, I do believe that 2020 is already observed all over the world, the Martin Luther King Day. And this day is observed with a commemoration of Mr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was a Baptist minister and who's really worked hard for the people to bring the equality in the society, like the American society, for both, and remove the racism, discrimination, bring the equality in the society. So we are trying to observe the day in commemoration, with the, I should say that in good collaboration with the students and the teachers in online platform. And so in the beginning, I would love to say that we have two parts of this session. So first part, our students will conduct this part, and then the second session, the teacher will be conducting the second part. So I would love to request Al-Humaydi and Tanya to take over that anchoring role so that they can conduct the session, first part of the session. Humaydi and Tanya, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ishat Al-Humaydi from Access FY18 Dhaka, and I have Tanya Sultana Reshmi from Access FY18 Chattogram. We are here to conduct the first session of this program. Among us, we have Mr. Javed Hyder Karim, the director of LPC, and I would like to request Mr. Javed Hyder Karim sir to present his remarks.
Thank you, Humaydi. I hope I'm audible. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have a sore throat. Let me at the outset inform you that from the American Center, they will be joining, but a little late. So we can go on with our program if it's all right with you all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today, you see, we are celebrating an occasion, an event that has far-reaching impact on the world. We're talking about a leader. And we all know that a leader is made, not born. Today, we remember Martin Luther King Jr., a true leader. We remember him with great honor and respect that he deserves. And why? Because this civil rights leader helped change the course of the American history. When others in the movement, civil rights movement, were advocating for freedom by any means, including violence, Martin Luther King Jr. had a different strategy. He used the power of words. And he propagated actions of non-violent resistance, similar to that what we have seen was propagated by Mahatma Gandhi when he was running the civil disobedience movement. We all know that this gentleman we are talking today, we are honoring today, Martin Luther King, was a great orator because he was a Baptist minister. So he has to give sermons. So he was a great orator, and he used this very effectively in giving shape to a movement. By his bold actions, he motivated hundreds of thousands of others to take action, but passive action. He led 200,000 Black people, African Americans, to march on to Washington in 1963, where he delivered this famous speech that we all know about, or we've heard about, or we're going to talk about. And what the speech is, I have a dream. King's leadership played a key role in ending segregation for African Americans, as Mr. Abu Sufyan had mentioned. It had a very, he played a vital role in this aspect. As a result of which, and there are two things that were affected. One is the Civil Rights Acts of 1964 and the Voting Rights Acts of 1965, which brought about a tremendous impact in the American continent. In 1964, because of his contributions, passive contributions, peaceful contributions, Martin Luther King was nominated or received the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? As Mr. Sufyan mentioned, he stressed on equality of all men, just as it was preached in the religion that we know of. Now, we've heard of so many speeches. We've heard of the Gettysburg speech by President Abraham Lincoln that united a divided people after the American Civil War. And we have also heard about the 7th March speech of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman that kindled hopes of freedom and independence in us. We know how the speech of Nelson Mandela ushered a reconciliation between the majority Black South Africans and the minority white South Africans who were in control at one time. Just so you all understand, the I Have a Dream speech have not only inspired changes within the United States, it has moved freedom-loving people around the world to promote peaceful coexistence, tolerance, and equal rights of all people, irrespective of their ethnicity, religious tolerance, religious belief, language, and color. He also inspired no less a personality like Nelson Mandela. It has inspired individuals and groups to dream of a bright future. And I'm sure we are going to hear a lot about the dreams that our students have. Similarly, I have a dream myself. I have a dream that our access students will be fluent in English before they complete this course. I have a dream that our access students achieve the goals of the access program and emerge as responsible citizens of this country. I have a dream that our access students become important community leaders that we are all trying to groom them to be. With those dreams, I hope you cooperate with us to fulfill those dreams. I thank you all very much and wish you all success. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Al Humaydi, I'm taking over the anchoring role, okay? So thank
No
you very
problem.
much, both of you, for the time being. Now, I'd love to request Nadu sir and Arifa Miss, both of them, to share the slides, and then they will be actually try to share some of the information of Martin Luther King, from where we will get more about Martin Luther King and the importance of the day.
Thank you. May we start our regular class pattern?
Yes,
The
sir.
teachers.
I do believe that all the teachers are ready as well. So when you are done, then we'll also go for that group works.
Okay, thank you. So, Arifa Miss, I will be with you, and let's share our ideas about Martin Luther King Jr., about his famous part. Already Javed Bhai and Mr. Abu Sufyan has told many things about him. So let us see what we can learn from the slides, from the PowerPoint presentation. May I present the PowerPoint?
Okay. So before moving on to showing them the PowerPoint presentation, can we check what did Javed sir talk about in his speech, whether they could understand or grasp?
We will be doing
asking
those
few
things.
Questions.
We'll be doing this, Miss, in the breakout room.
Okay.
So, Miss, go ahead.
Martin Luther King. Students, who is Martin Luther King? Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Who is he? Who can answer, students?
Leaders of
Is he a leader from Bangladesh?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Who is he?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, he was a social activist. Ma'am, he was and Baptist minister.
He was a social activist, civil rights activist, American civil rights activist, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
And why is he famous for? Civil rights activist, and other than that?
Because of his great
To remove racism.
Racism, yes.
Discrimination.
Discrimination.
Violence.
Non-violence protest. He was a great orator, and
He was a great spokesman also.
a great motivator too, isn't it? Because he encouraged the people to realize their demands, to raise their demands in a peaceful protest, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
He discouraged to use physical force. What does it mean? In his speech, he discouraged the people to use physical force rather than people should use the force of their souls. What does it mean?
And he wanted non-violence protest. Non-violence.
Excellent, Meherunessa, excellent. And what else he mentioned?
Can you mute the mic? If some sounds are coming, only the persons who will be speaking can unmute, and then, because we are recording. Can you see the sharing, what we are sharing?
Can you see the students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We can see the sharing.
What do you see, by the way?
Martin Luther King Jr. Day, 17th January.
Okay. Now, after this, I will start with sharing the other parts also. So let Miss complete the work, and both of us will share the screen.
I don't know. You people, please try to mute yourself. When you are talking, you mute yourself, unmute yourself, and then mute yourself immediately. Thank you.
Okay. What do you see now on the screen?
Let's get familiar with the words.
Okay. We will start with a few words that are very much familiar with Martin Luther King's speech. Yes, Tanya, you must keep your environment a little bit out of noise pollution. Here we see promoting peace, tolerance, equal rights, freedom, equal opportunity, and segregated. Now, these are the meaning that you need to know. Do you know the meaning of these words? Raise your virtual hand and please give an answer.
What do you mean by promoting peace? He won Nobel Peace Prize, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Students,
Yes, ma'am.
do you know in which year he won Nobel Peace Prize?
Ma'am, it was 1964.
Yes, he was a very brilliant student too, because he skipped 2 classes, you know. He didn't study class 9 to 12. He was such a brilliant leader, you know.
Which word resembles promoting peace from your left-hand side to the right-hand side?
Peacemaker.
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 Peacemaker. Very good. Excellent. Tolerance. What is the other word for tolerance?
Patient.
Patience.
Patience. So the answer is given to you, right? What is equal opportunity?
Separated from others.
Not yet.
Privilege.
Privilege.
Yes,
Privilege. Freedom. What is the other word of freedom?
Liberty.
liberty.
Liberty. Okay, now segregated. What is the meaning of that?
Separated from others.
Separate from others.
Separated from others. Very
Thank
good.
you very much.
Okay, Miss, continue. I am with you.
You know, during his time, you know, the Black American didn't have the power to vote even. They were extremely discriminated, the Black Americans, sir. So he spoke in favor of equality, freedom, and equal rights and justice. In his speech, he also talked about the sons and daughters of the slave and slave masters will be sitting together. What does it mean?
There will not
At the table of brotherhood.
Any
What does it mean?
discrimination.
Discrimination between black and whites.
Yeah, equality, you know, justice
Yes,
and
ma'am.
equality. Can anybody read this one?
May I, ma'am?
Okay, Mehdi, yeah.
Okay, facts. In addition to the mountain of evidence against him, such as his fingerprints on the murder weapon and his admitted presence at the rooming house on April 4, Ray had a definite motive in assassinating King. Hatred, hatred, according to hatred, according to his family and friends. He was an outspoken racist who informed them of his intent to kill Dr.
So he was being assassinated on April 4 in 1968. Do you know more about his death? Can anybody share?
Miss, one girl wanted to read from Chattogram. May we ask her to read also the red part?
Okay.
Mayor Nessa, please.
King was largely responsible for the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The Civil Rights Act banned discrimination in the workforce and public accommodation based on race, color, religion, or national origin. The Voting Rights Act protects African Americans' right to vote.
Excellent. Another person, after that, we will go for a little bit discussion. So another person from Chattogram, a student.
May I?
Yes.
The King assassination riots, also known as the Holy Week Uprising, were a wave of civil disturbance which swept the United States following the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4, 1968. Some of the biggest riots took place in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Chicago, and Kansas City.
Kansas City. It is RIOTS, riots took place.
Okay, sir.
And DC means, what is the meaning of DC? Anybody can explain? Washington, DC. District of Columbia. Dear students, we are studying American English, American program. So we should know about DC and more about American culture and history. District of Columbia. Yeah. Okay. These are the MLK codes. What does MLK stands for?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
And we will be talking about more quotation. Let's go ahead with the King's appearance, how bold he was, how confident he was. You can see from his picture and from his posture. This one you will read later on. Now we'll continue with last part of this. He wanted actually a free society where everyone was equal. Everyone has equal rights. And like that, still we can see in the whole world, including the United States, there is discrimination. Discrimination among others, but only among the few. Every country it has. And also United States there is. We can see that last year or before last year, Floyd was killed by some white people. So this is kind of discrimination, it happens. But what we have to do is we have to make awareness that this is not good, this is bad. So we should come out of that theory. Now, I would like
after
yes.
the killing of Floyd, the black people, even the white also joined, and they wrote something like Black Lives Matters. Still today, the people of the United States, even the black and white, they together they raise their voice against this discrimination.
Right.
So Black Lives Matters. Just after killing Floyd by a white policeman. So still the world is experiencing discrimination, inequality. Hopefully his dream is not yet materialized completely. Hopefully it will. It will.
Miss, may we ask the last paragraph to be read by any student, not some, any students, the civil rights, who will be reading?
May I?
Okay.
Can I, sir?
Okay, from Chittagong. Okay, from Chittagong, Meherunessa. You have already read, no?
Yeah, she read.
So some other can read it. Sorry?
May I read?
Yes, Riti. Okay, you can read.
The civil rights leader was in Memphis to support sanitation workers' strike and was on his way to dinner when a bullet struck him in the jaw and severed his spinal cord. King was pronounced dead after his arrival at a Memphis hospital. He was 39 years old.
Yes, a tragedy. Severed his spinal cord, and there he was dead. Not only one American president died actually by the bullets. There were some other presidents also. Do you know anyone who was killed, who was assassinated also in the United States? Any name of the president? Anyone? Guesswork? John F. Kennedy. Remember?
He was a great, organizer. MLK was also a great organizer. He organized series of protests, series of marches, non-violent marches, peaceful non-violent marches. So he has had all the great qualities of being a leader. And the words, the language, like the rhetoric, the metaphor, the words the alliteration, repetition, rhythm, illusion, and many more words what he used in his speech. His speech became very impactful and emotionally metaphors, emotional. The people become very emotional, and I think we all can think that as long the human race will be blessed to survive, his speech will always be remembered. And we all should practice to maintain the message of his speech, isn't it? What do you think? Student, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Now, we will have the video of Martin Luther King's dream. So please patiently wait, and we are going to share the speech, 6-minute speech. So all of you will be listening carefully. This is about Martin Luther King. Can you see the screen? Is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll play. Okay, starting.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, vicious racist, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. And every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when it happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Reality, the way that he spoke, the way that he used the words, selective words. Well, I believe all of you have understood his speech. The words altogether is a major speech. I don't think anyone can, in future, can give this sort of speech anymore. We are all equal in God's sight. We have
the alliteration, the repetition. I have a dream. I have a dream. The rhythm, you know. So it was such a wonderful speech, you know. Such a wonderful creative speech, you know.
Now we have to go for some questions to the students. We can go with not to the breakout rooms, but we can give few minutes, 5 minutes to them for answering a few questions that we have in our slide. Shall I show the slide?
Yes.
Then I think, yeah, okay, all right. Is it visible? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can see.
So, I believe Mr. Sufyan how long can we go with this? 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think, sir, this is 4-4. So, yeah, we need to go for 30 minutes of breakout room.
Yeah. Not this breakout room. After the guest comes, I think we can go for the breakout rooms after the performance of the students. Do
Okay.
we have the guest?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet.
So we can discuss about the questions you have on the screen.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
we can discuss only a few questions, not all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can actually discuss a few questions. You can discuss. Sufyan, you are the anchor, so you can go ahead with that discussion.
Okay, so in activity one, the one you have given, like what contribution has the peacemaker made to the world? So students, I think you try to respond to the questions. Anyone from Chittagong or Dhaka can respond. Like how are they contributing to the society, the peacemakers, or what actually they're doing? Anyone, you can share your ideas. Anyone from Dhaka or Chittagong? So, like, what Martin Luther King did. So, why he is actually taken or considered as a peacemaker as well? So, what is your idea? Who can tell us? Why do people call him a peacemaker?
Because he protested for the black in a non-violence protest.
Okay, so he tried to brought equality in the society, tried to bring the equality in the society, but in a peaceful way, peaceful manner. All right.
Yes, sir. By loving each other.
Okay. Okay. His policy was spreading love. Okay. No violence, no hatred, brotherhood. Okay. So, is there anything else that he did so that we can call him as well a peacemaker? What did he do for the slaves?
Yes. What did he do for the slave? Black people. I mean, slaves.
The people who were considered, what was his dream about the slaves? One day, the owners of the slaves and their sons and daughters and the slave sons and daughter, what will they do? What will they sit together?
Yes,
At the
there
table of
no
brotherhood.
difference between the black and white.
Yeah, they will sit together and
And there will be no difference between them.
okay, they will take their food together. They will sit in the same dining table, or maybe the table of discussion.
They will be
Ashwin?
They will eat together, walk together, everything. They will do everything together. They will be treated equally, not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. What a nice,
Yes.
Right.
what a nice statement, you know.
I have a question for them. May I ask them? The last question, maybe. Students, listen carefully. It is a screen. You can see the screen displayed. Has reading or learning or listening to his speech, is this about Martin Luther King, influenced you? If so, can you give us answer in 1 or 2 points?
Okay. What points of
Striking? Oh, what are the striking, like features impact them?
Yes,
From
impact
his
on them, right?
Impact on them from his speech. A very good question, Azul bhai. সবাই একটু brainstorm করে বলো। It's a very nice question. ওটা থেকে তারা কি শিখলো? কোন জিনিসগুলোকে তাদেরকে impact করলো? Students, you can take time, not unlimited time, like 3 or 2 to 3 minutes, and you can answer. Everyone should come up with your own opinion.
yes, Emma.
okay, Ashwin, continue.
Okay.
You all have heard his speech, So
No,
from
Ashwin
his
is
speech-
continuing.
Okay.
Ashwin is trying to share something.
Okay.
Thank you.
From this speech, I'm influenced to make peace whatever I do, not to get violent, and to do everything peacefully.
Very good.
Can you give an example from your home?
Okay. Example, like like he said, like he stood up for the equal of black and white people, for the black especially. So he did everything peacefully. So I think if we do something like that, or whatever we stood up for, we should make it peace, not violent about. And I don't think that I have any example.
Good.
Okay, I think thank you very much. Anyone can give an example Dazrin wanted to share from your home, like what we can do to follow the teaching of Martin Luther King.
Sir, I would like to say,
Yes, please.
Okay.
sir,
Sure.
I learned that I should ensure equality and I shouldn't judge people by their skin colors.
Okay. Okay, like at our home we have maids, like the helping hands. We are not supposed to treat them in a different way. Rather, the food we are taking, we're trying to treat them with the same food. Am I right? It's a learning from your home. Am I right?
Sir,
Okay. So, is there any other example that really goes with Martin Luther King's teaching? That maybe you can give the example from your experience of home. Okay, no problem. Anyone else would love to share anything that actually impacted you from his speech? Any part of the speech that really clicked your mind or like knocked you that, yeah, I really touched, it really touched my heart and I should say something, I should share something in this regard. So students from Chattogram and Dhaka, so would you please respond? Anything that clicked your mind?
We heard two from Dhaka, so the students of Chattogram can share.
So about his
Tania Sultana.
It is all same. They have learned, and all access students, they have, some of them responded. That means the whole bunch, they understood.
I do believe so. And thank you very much for sharing the part. Actually, since our guest is here, so we can hand over the program to our student anchors. Ishat and Tanya, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Welcome, the guest, Sufyan.
Okay, I would love to welcome Shaon. Mr. Shaon. So we have already started the program, and since you people are coming a bit late, so we just reshuffle a little bit of that program. I think you hear me. Am I right, Shaon bhai? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm very sorry. I'm late. So it's been a crazy day for me because it's Thursday, and I was involved in so many things. And thank you for starting. Thanks to all the teachers and students for joining already. Please carry on.
Thank you very much. So I would love to hand over my microphone to my student. So Ishat Al Humaydi and Tania, please continue the program according to the program schedule. Maybe after Javed sir's speech.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now I would like to call our teacher, Syed Nozul Ahsan, for watching a documentary.
Thank you. You are calling me actually because of under circumstances. We have shifted the program, and session 2 that you wanted to hear about the Martin Luther King's speech, we have already broadcasted it. So from there, we are going through classes like questions, answers, what we have learned from him, and what we can do in our life. So should I play the speech again?
I think, sir, we have already watched it and we have discussed a lot about the speech. So it's better to go with the students' poster presentation.
Excellent. Right? Thank you very much. So here I take off.
Okay. So Ishat, could you please, who is going to present the posters?
Okay. Now I'm going to request, I would like to request the moderator from LPC Access FY18 Chattogram for sharing their posters.
Okay, thank you, Ishad. I'm sharing it. Is it visible?
It's coming. Yeah, it's visible.
So the posters are prepared by our access student from FY18 batch LPC Chattogram. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to request Ishad for presenting poster.
There is a change in schedule. There is no poster from Dhaka. I would like to request Kaji Sumaya Sriti to give a speech from Access Chattogram.
Good afternoon, everyone. Martin Luther King Jr. is remembered as the hero in the fight for civil rights against racial injustice. His most famous address was the "I Have a Dream" speech. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his non-violent activism. Martin Luther King Day celebrates the life and legacy of a man who brought hope and healing to America. Violence had never been a way for him. He spoke for every nationality. He wanted equality for all. Martin Luther King Day is a day of helping others. Martin Luther King Day teaches the next generation to learn about standing up for their rights through nonviolent disputes. The teaching of Martin Luther King Jr. is very much needed in today's world, which is full of violence and conflict. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaji Sumaya Sriti. Now I would like to call Chainika Dotto for giving her speech. Chainika Dotto.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all of my respected teachers and also my friends present here. Please take my salam. Assalam. I am by 18 Dhaka. Now I am going to talk about a man who won the Nobel Peace Prize for fighting racism around the world, who dreamed for humanity. He used to say that religion and caste can never be an obstacle for human beings. I am talking about the hero of the rights movement of African Americans, Martin Luther King. Today I am going to present the achievement of Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. achieved Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 for his great leadership. He was named Man of the Year by Time magazine in 1963. In 1963, Dr. King achieved perhaps his most important accomplishment when he helped lead over 2 lakhs people to the Lincoln Memorial overlooking the Washington Monument. Dr. King served as the first president of the SCLC following the Montgomery bus boycott. Also, he proved the power of non-violent resistance. He organized the Great March. He also received many awards. Grammy Hall of Fame in 2012, Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1977, Congressional Gold Medal in 2004. 4th April in 1968, Martin Luther King was shot dead. From 1957 to 1968, he traveled 6 million miles and lectured more than 2,500 times. He also wrote many books. He was a great leader. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Choyanika.
Janika.
Thank you, Choyanika, for a great speech. Now we are going to watch a video combination which is made by XSF8 in Dhaka about some quotation of Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, I Have a Dream.
There is no sound.
Ishad, there is no sound.
On August 28, 1963, the Rev. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his "I Have a Dream" speech from the steps of Lincoln Memorial. The historic speech helped galvanize the civil rights movement and brought the plight of the disenfranchised to a larger national and international audience. In honor of the historic movement and in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we the Access FY18 Dhaka students are going to present some of the best quotes from that speech.
I say to you today, my friends, in spite of the difficulties and frustration of the moment, I still have a dream.
I have a dream that one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls as sisters, as brothers.
We can't walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall march ahead. We can't turn back.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold this truth to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
We will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Now is time to rise from the dark and to lead the valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Thank you, Rishad. Now, I would like to call Joydeep and Mehunesa Tania for poems recitation from Chattogram. Joydeep and Mehunesa Tania. Joydeep and Mehunesa Tania.
Yeah, I'm here.
Please.
Assalamu alaikum. Love Each Other by Nikki Aksamit. Born in 1929, he worked hard to erase the line between the races, black and white. He used his words to fight.
Everyone was his dream. Martin Luther King spoke
By loving each other, each woman and man, we can complete his noble plan. Thank you.
Such a wonderful poem recitation from Joydev and Meherunessa Tania, students of XSF 18 Chattogram. There is another poem recitation from Dhaka. I would like to request Tunazina to recite her poem.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Tunajina from English Access Program FY8 in Dhaka. I'm going to recite a poem, O Captain, My Captain, in honor of the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., a dedicated, tireless leader and fighter for the civil rights of African Americans. O Captain, My Captain, by Walt Whitman. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wreck. The prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting. Will follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But to hurt to the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship has anchored safe and sound, its voice closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object won. Exalt her shores and ring of bells. But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Thank you.
Thank you, Tonajina. Now I would like to call my teacher, Nusrat Sharmin ma'am, for presenting a video message from FY 18 batch Chattogram.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Meherunessa Tania. I have a dream that there will be no violence in any nation.
I have a dream that the world will be free from COVID.
I have a dream that Bangladesh will be among the developed countries in the world.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. This is Muhammad Saad Hussain. I have a dream that one day rich and poor will be get equal treatment.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Joy. I have a dream that there will be no religious extremism.
I have a dream that one day rich and poor will be get equal treatment.
I have a dream that one day I will visit around the world.
Assalamu alaikum.
Such a wonderful video presentation about our students' dream. Now we are going to watch another video which is made by Anikujaman Badhon about Martin Luther King Jr. So let's watch the video. A wonderful video about the life of Martin Luther King Jr. By this presentation, we finished our first session. Hope you enjoyed this session. Have another session. Now we are going to the second session, which will be moderated by the teacher. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, both of you, Ishat and Tanya, for conducting the session wonderfully. And the students, those who participated and also made the wonderful videos remarking the day. So now at this point, I would love to request Mr. Shaon to deliver his remarks on this occasion, whatever he'd love to share here. Shaon Bhai, would you please share something for the students?
Thank you. Thank you, Sufyan Bhai. On the eve of the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I would like to say a huge thanks to all the Access teachers and students for celebrating the legacy of this great man. And truly, I'm amazed by the presentations from the students. And today, the reason I think we live in a better world is because some great human beings like Dr. King envisioned this betterment. Today, I feel proud for you that through this Access project, you at such an early age are getting the opportunity to learn about this great soul and his visions. And I'm sure you already know a lot about Dr. King. So I'll keep it pretty brief. The contributions of Dr. King not only changed the United States as a nation, also it impacted hugely, over the whole world. Martin Luther King said that I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I hope you can understand what type of world we used to live in. And I also hope you enjoy this better world now. For example, take a look at the Access program. In this program, students across religions, class, gender, financial background, race, everybody joins. And we make sure we make no judgment depending on whether you're a boy or a girl, you're from a city or a village, or your financial status. Rather, your diverse background enriches the program. But even until the middle 20th century, the world was not like this. It was full of communality, racism, and caste system. As I mentioned, people like Dr. Martin Luther King made a huge contribution in changing this world. On a separate note, as I'm speaking, I want to tell all the students that I was so excited when we started the in-person classes. But COVID has its own plan, and we must follow that. I want to tell you that you must be very vigilant in this difficult time. Please don't take it very lightly. And whenever you're going outside, please mask yourself and try to make the maximum use of your in-person, the virtual classes. So that's all from me. I'm very sorry for joining late, but still, I enjoyed the presentations and your speeches. Over to you, Sufyan Bhai. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your wonderful remarks. And I do believe that the students are also getting a good time here since you are here. So they're already actually excited having you here, and we were expecting actually our Rello. Maybe unfortunately he's not joining somehow.
So I just wanted to tell that our Relo is not feeling well, so she was tested positive yesterday.
Oh, sorry for that.
So yeah, that's the world we're living in. Otherwise, she would have joined.
Yeah. So thank you very much for joining, and you can stay till then. So like now we can continue with the group work if Javed sir doesn't have any remarks to say at this moment. Anything to add?
Thank you. I would really take this opportunity to extend our best wishes, our prayers to the Willow for her early recovery. And at the same time, let me express my personal feelings about the wonderful presentation by Tunazana, who captained my captain. It took me down the memory lane, to my school days when I was a student of class 4, and in our annual prize giving day, I was asked to recite this poem. Let me admit, Tunazina did it much better than what I did at that time.
Congratulations, Tunazina. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's wonderful remarks for Tunazina as well as for all the students of Access. Thank you, sir. So at this moment, I think we are moving to our group work activity. No, sir. May we go for now the group work activity?
Thank you, Sufyan. We shall go. It is a session 2. Some parts are left, which will be actually conducted by Hassan Al-Mahmoud. And if he needs, we can assist him. But what we have learned, what we have understood from here, it is great. Rather, I will add a point to my views that the students of LPC Access, Dhaka and Chattogram, in the recent times, they also shared their distribution of blankets to the poor people at the Night also they went there and they gave the blanket. It is also a part of our learning, and it has been taught by the access all throughout the world. And the alumni also, they also are doing, still they are doing the work which we have taught them, which we have guided them earlier. By saying so, let us go to the breakout rooms and give the floor to Hassan to conduct this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Hassan, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I was just mesmerized to see the performance of our students. Thank you, all the students from Dhaka and Chittagong. You just did it wonderfully and more than what I expected, okay? Congratulations to each of you. However, we have learned about the speech of Martin Luther King. Also, we have many things to talk about his personal life. We are actually, we want to know about this great man, about not only about this speech, but also about other stuff in his life. For this, we need to, we have a plan to work in a group. We will be dividing you into 6 groups. It will be, the group will be set like automatically. So I don't know who will be in what group. So before you go to the group work activity, what I need to show you is the topic for your discussion, what you are going to talk about. Let me share my screen. Okay, so here are all together, there are 6 activities. So the group 1 will be talking about the topic 1. For example, here there are some clues. We are talking about Martin Luther King. When he was born, his name was not Martin Luther King. He was named as Michael King Jr. But how his name was changed, probably his father was inspired by a German leader, because he traveled in 1934. He traveled to Germany with his family. I'm talking about Martin Luther King's father, and his father's name was like Martin Luther King Sr. Okay, so he also changed his own name, inspired by that German leader. So the point you need to talk about in the group activity is, why do you think that Michael King was named as Dr. Martin Luther King? What was the inspiration? That will be the point, that will be the topic for the group 1. Then if I move the group 2, group students will be about how Martin Luther King was as a student. For example, he was a brilliant student. As we can see that he skipped grades 9 and 12 because he was very mature compared to the other students in his school and college. So that's why he had to skip, because he was very mature. And then in the college, he was given the graduation degree in advance because of his merit and smartness. So why do you think that he entered the college at the age of 15 and completed it so early? So what might be other reasons you need to talk about, and you need to keep this you need to present this according to the point, according to points, point 1, point 2, point 3. For example, if you have 5 members in your group, probably 5 members will have 5 points. But on behalf of your group, only one person is going to present all the information. So you need to fix your presenter, you need to fix the group leader, and he will or she will be representing your group with all the discussion points you have gathered. Okay. Then group 3 will be talking about his crucial time when he had to go to the jail. You also need to know this history, because when you are trying to change something in the society, the journey will not be very beautiful all the time. Sometimes you need to go through struggles. This is what happened to him. He went to jail 29 times and he was arrested for so many reasons. Here I have an example. Now you need to talk about what might be other reasons of which he was arrested so many times. So this is your point. You will talk about this. And the okay, activity number 4 is, this is another incident that happened in his life, that we know that he was killed by a man in 1968, but 10 years before that he was shot again. Okay, he was shot by another woman, I mean black woman. So why do you think he was shot by the black woman? Here are some information I have given. According to this information, you need to continue your discussion. You need to add some more points. It's not that you are expert of Martin Luther King. I have added this information so that you can think about it deeply, or you can have the interest to know about this person, in more details. Then if I talk about the group activity 5, then this is the most crucial one, because he was killed by man James Earl Ray. So here are some information: when he was killed and how the man was arrested, and then he was given punishment. So your point will be to talk about how do you justify the punishment. Was the punishment enough for him, or do you think no, he was given too much punishment? What do you think? So we want to know about your opinion. Then the last one, I mean the group number 6, group 6 students will be talking about these great men in more advanced points. For example, George Washington was the founding father and the president of the United States. And also, if we know about the Abraham Lincoln, he was the 16th president and he fought against slavery. They were very famous person in the US history, and they were very significant personalities. And that's why people still celebrate the holidays on their name. So what are the reasons that people are still celebrating holidays on the name of Martin Luther King? Was that so important? Do you think that Martin Luther King was also a significant part of the history? Why do you think that? So you need to talk about this. This is the activity for group 6. So I hope you have understood, and I will share this file with all of you before I send it to the breakout room. But I want to ask you, do you have any question regarding this? Students from Dhaka and Long, do you have any question before going into the breakout room?
Okay, one thing I need to share, that all the students will be talking in the group, and one person will pile up the information or ideas, and the representative person will share after coming from the breakout room. Okay, so Hassan sir, you continue with your...
Yeah, sure. I'm sharing the file, and also I am...
You could share it in the messenger group. So that
no, in the Zoom messenger. Yes, ma'am. Zoom messenger. Give me 1 minute, please. I'm sharing in 2 formats, JPG and PDF, whatever supports in your mobile. Now I'm sending you to the breakout room.
Yes, Ashraf.
Sir, there is a problem in my room, sir. I joined late for the prayer, and I didn't also know what need to do in the room activity, and I also didn't get the file. So,
okay, no problem.
About the sending of the file is also probleming there. So, sir, we didn't get any chance to activity the room.
Group 1. Okay. What you can do, you can just stay with the group. and listen to them.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, as you're coming back, I think we don't
Study.
need
All right,
to
no problem.
waste our time. So let's begin with our presentation. I will start with the group one. So can you please tell me who is the group representative of group one?
We will come to the main
Group representative of group one. May I know your
Uh,
name?
Tanya is
I'm
there?
Tanya Sultana Reshmi.
Okay, tell about your group members who were there and talk about your topic.
Sir, I'm coming from group one and Shahina Morgia Bobby, also with me. Room number one, sir. The question was, why do you think Michael King was named as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Martin Luther King Jr. Was a great social activist and he was a Baptist minister. On top of receiving two bachelor degree one in sociology from Morehouse College and the other in Devonty from the Crozer Technology Seminar, King went on to earn a PhD from Boston University in 1955, making him a Doctor of Philosophy. After that, his name was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay, so why do you think that he was named on the name of Martin Luther? Because his name was not Martin Luther, it was taken from another person's name.
Yes, sir.
Do you know who was Martin Luther?
Actually, sir, I don't know.
If you look at the screen.
Yeah, you can see the screen. Martin Luther was a German Protestant
German protest.
Yes,
Reformation.
and he was a great leader and inspired by his activities. So Mr. King's father put his name as Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. Thank you for presenting. Okay,
And I'm so sorry, sir, for I
It's
can't
okay.
complete my.
It's okay. You did well. You did well. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Now, may I hear from the group number 2? Who was the representative of group number 2? Anyone there? Please talk.
Then we go for room number 3. If no response.
Okay. So we are moving to group number 3. Who were in the group number 3?
I'm Kadisuma speaking, representing group number 3.
Very good. Thank you.
Our topic was what might be other reasons for which he was arrested so many times. Martin Luther King was arrested in 29 times. In 1936, he went to jail for anti-segregation protests. In 1956, King were arrested on charges of organizing the Montgomery bus boycott. In September 1958, while attempting to attend the arraignment of a man accused of assaulting Abernathy, King is arrested outside Montgomery's Recorder Court. In 1960, he was arrested.
Okay. Thank you. Can you please tell me why was he arrested? Like, what was the reason? He was arrested for what?
In 56, he was arrested for intimidate the bus boycotters.
Okay. So there are many reasons that he was arrested for. Okay.
Yes.
So the main reason, what do you think the most important reason he was arrested many times for?
group member, the other group member.
Was he like bad person, criminal?
No,
No,
sir.
no.
He
So
was
why was he arrested?
He was
Sir, because he fight
Yes.
He was fighting against what?
Against
sir, he was
non-racial
fighting against
racism.
racial injustice or non-violence protest.
Okay. He was talking. He was talking for his community, for the black people, for the, you know, equality, for the justice, social justice.
Yes.
And he was in the rally, he was in the meeting, he was in the gathering. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, thank you. Group number 3. So what happened to group number 2? Are you there now? Group number 2 representative. Anyone there? No. Okay, so group 4, Tunajina.
Yes, sir.
Group 4.
Yes, sir. In group number 4, my partner were Tajul Islam and Ashraf. So our question was, why do you think King was attacked in 1958 by a black woman 10 years before his murder? So we think that the girl was jealous with Martin Luther King Jr. and also maybe her mental condition was not well. That's why he attacked King.
She attacked, yes.
She attacked. Sorry.
Good point. Okay. Any other points you want to add? She was a black woman, and Martin Luther King was also black. So
Sir, I
black,
think someone ordered the girl.
someone ordered the girl. Very important point. Someone ordered the girl to do that.
To kill him.
Maybe provoke her.
Yeah. Do you think that he was the only person who was killed by the people, like in terms of these political or social justice awareness issues? Or do you know any other person or any other people in the world who also got killed by the people who are working for the community, for the people? Do you know any other person?
Yes, in our country, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and others, and also in India, there are presidents.
In India, in Pakistan, there
Yes.
are some people.
Every
isn't
country
it?
around the world.
Yeah, we should know about this, who work hard for the people, okay, for the social justice. Then thank you, Tunajina, and your group. Let's talk about the group number 5. Group 5 representative, may we hear from you?
Sir, actually I am in group 5, but my partner don't talk, so that we don't take any decision.
You can talk on behalf of them.
Sir, I think his punishment is not okay because he killed oneself, then he have to execution.
Okay.
I think jail is not okay for him.
So what would you do? Would you give punishment to him?
Yes.
What would be your punishment? What would be the punishment from your side if you were the judge?
Execution.
Execution? Okay. Why do you think that?
Because he killed oneself.
He killed one of the greatest leaders, right?
Yes.
You wanted to mean that he killed one of the greatest leaders. Okay. So you can, I'm showing this so that you can know these great men in details. You can search in Google, you will find many articles. So these are just some very small points, but you can study about this, okay, in details. So it's not possible to give you details in this short presentation. I'm giving you some clues so that you can study more. And the last group, group number 6, who was the representative? Group 6 representative.
No one responds.
Only 20 people are here.
Okay, we have to close it down before everyone goes out.
Only
Okay.
20 people are here. People are leaving. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because.
So let's close it, sir, for today with your remarks. Nazul, sir.
Good work. I believe that the breakout room is actually a very vital part for the students to learn from here. And I believe the students who have left, maybe they have prior engagements, but because of the program, we teachers, all the teachers should inspire and motivate that the students should be here until the program is over. We have to encourage them. I believe Mr. Shaon Karmokar is hopefully, because the name of the team, I believe, Chattogram moderator's name was not pronounced very carefully. So from my side, I think that the program, the student did very good work in the shortest possible time. Thanks to the students, thanks to the teachers, and the persons who are moderating today and conducting the classes. Thanks to you also. So I will give it over to the moderator or the anchor, Abu Sufyan, who has returned, by thanking all of you. Take care.
Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to thank Mr. Hassan for conducting the group work session, as well as all the students for participating actively. I do believe that the students, the more you will be talking, the more you will be improving your spoken or speaking skills. So please try to talk in English with your friends in group. Try to be more active in the group works or when you are participating in a classwork. So hope so that will really help you out in the future. And I do believe that this enhancement activity of today's session enlightens you to learn more about Mr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And with the permission of Javed, sir, I would love to call it a day here. So, sir, may we end it up? And thank you.
Yes, thank you. It was a wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I also thank my gratitude to Mr. Shaon, who joined with us and shared his speech. And thank you all the teachers from Dhaka and Chattogram, as well as all the students for joining this enhancement activity. Hope so we'll have another session soon when we are ready within some new topic or ideas or issues. Thank you very much. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.